At $600, the Pixel 6 was already a great value. But Google promises to take that even further with the Pixel 6a, which costs $450 and has the same design and processor as the Pixel 6. Pre-orders start on July 21st and the phone hits store shelves on July 28th. Overall, the Pixel 6a accomplishes its job of being a reliable, cheaper alternative to the Pixel 6. But it's important to know what you're missing out on by going for Google's cheaper phone. Google is also facing more competition from companies like Samsung, which has been really successful with its lineup of affordable Galaxy A devices recently. While I generally like the Pixel 6a better than Samsung's Galaxy A53, which is the same price, there are some features I wish Google included. Let's dive in. The first thing you'll notice about the Pixel 6a compared to the regular Pixel 6 is its smaller design. The Pixel 6a has a 6.1-inch screen, making it noticeably smaller than the 6.4-inch Pixel 6 and 6.7-inch Pixel 6 Pro. Its screen is also the same size as the Galaxy S22 and iPhone 13, but it's noticeably larger than the 4.7-inch iPhone SE, which costs $429. The Pixel 6a feels much easier to manage with one hand than the Pixel 6, but I do think Samsung is generally better at cramming big screens into compact, ergonomic designs compared to Google. Like the regular Pixel 6, the 6a also has a two-tone design with a camera bar running across the back of the device. I've been using the sage green Pixel 6a, which is a slightly darker version of the mint green Pixel 6. As I've mentioned before, I think Google has done a good job of making its Pixel 6 lineup stand out with this type of design. The camera bar is a nice change of pace from the horizontal camera module found on most other Android phones. I know most people use their phones with a case anyway, but it's refreshing to see something that's different than a plain slab once in a while. It's much more visually striking than last year's Pixel 5a, the Galaxy A53, and the similarly priced Moto G. One thing you won't get on the Pixel 6a is a headphone jack, which isn't a total surprise these days, but it's still a noteworthy choice considering the Pixel 5a was one of the few devices with the headphone jack when it launched last year. Luckily, the Pixel 6a's stereo speakers are loud enough to get the job done. The Pixel 6a was a great mini speaker during a recent picnic at the park when I didn't want to blast music too loud but still wanted it to be audible. I also don't think the Pixel 6a sounded that different from the Pixel 6 despite its smaller size. The Pixel 6a's screen is bright and crisp enough to comfortably read and watch videos. I imagine it's good enough for most people who are looking for a basic affordable phone, which is exactly who the Pixel 6a was designed for. But it's not quite as bright as the displays on Samsung's Galaxy phones. Most of the time, I was able to keep the Pixel 6a's brightness set to about 50%. However, if I'm watching a video with dark scenery, I sometimes need to crank the brightness up a little bit higher. Another thing to note is that the Pixel 6a does not have a high refresh rate option like the Pixel 6 and Galaxy A53. This isn't a deal breaker, especially at this price, but it would have been nice to see, especially since Samsung has been adding higher refresh rates to its mid-range phones recently. The Pixel 6a has two main cameras, a 12.2 megapixel standard camera and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. It's a bit of a step down from the Pixel 6's 50 megapixel main camera, but it still produces great images for a phone of its price. Take a look at this photo of a yellow flower as an example. The Pixel 6a's image is crisp and focused, but the Pixel 6 does a much better job of balancing brightness, color, and sharpness. The regular Pixel 6 also has a wider field of view than the Pixel 6a, which was more noticeable than I thought it would be. The regular Pixel 6 is also better at taking portrait mode photos based on my testing so far. Check out the side-by-side comparison and you'll notice the Pixel 6a's photo has too many shadows over the subject's face. The Pixel 6a takes decent low-light photos, but the Pixel 6 is way better in this regard. I turned all the lights off in my apartment and took these photos of my cat to put the cameras to the test. As you can see, the Pixel 6's image is much brighter and sharper. The Galaxy A53 has more cameras than the Pixel 6a, but I prefer the Pixel 6a's image quality. You'll notice the Pixel does a better job with contrast in this photo taken on a bright sunny day. The trees are so dark in Samsung's photo, you can barely see the leaves in certain spots. The same goes for low-light photos. The Pixel 6a's photo is noticeably brighter than the Galaxy A53's. Since the Pixel 6a runs on the same Tensor processor as the Pixel 6, it also inherits many of the same camera features. That includes Magic Eraser for deleting unwanted background details, and Face Unblur, which freezes moving subjects. Check out our full written review and camera comparison for more details about the Pixel 6a's camera. The Pixel 6a's battery life is long enough to make it through a full day, although that will always vary depending on how you use your device. After a relatively easy day that mostly involved texting, checking email, and reading the news, I had 58% left by 9 p.m. But our full review has more details about the Pixel 6a's battery life, so be sure to check that out. The Pixel 6a also supports 18-watt fast charging, but you need the right power adapter, which doesn't come in the box. Also keep in mind there's no wireless charging, which might be a disappointment if you already own a wireless charger. You also won't be able to use the Pixel 6a to wirelessly charge other accessories like you can with the Pixel 6. Google's Tensor processor seems to be performing pretty well in my experience so far. The camera launches quickly, it handles multitasking just fine, and the fingerprint sensor seems a little faster than the standard Pixel 6 is. That's one advantage the Pixel 6a also has over Samsung's Galaxy A53. When I reviewed that phone a few months ago, I noticed some occasional lag. Some users have also said they've encountered bugs with the regular Pixel 6 over the last few months, such as connectivity issues and pocket dialing. Luckily, I haven't noticed any performance or signal problems with the Pixel 6a so far. Google's new phone launches with Android 12, which feels clean and fluid on the Pixel 6a. Since it's a Pixel phone, it will also be among the first to get Android 13. Pixel phones also have Google-specific features like Hold for Me, which has the Google Assistant wait on hold for you when calling certain businesses until someone's ready to speak with you. There's also Direct My Call, which transcribes automated voice menus and shows the button options on screen. You'll also get Live Translate on Pixel phones, which translates messages and videos in foreign languages. These features are nice bonuses, although I'm not sure whether they're important enough to really play a big role in the phone buying decision. Still, I like that Google has been thinking about creative ways to make its phones stand out. The Google Pixel 6a is a solid phone for the price. It has a great camera, an attractive design, smooth performance, and clean software that's easy to use. Plus, it'll be among the first to get new Android updates, and Google rolls out new features to Pixel phones over time. With the Pixel 6a, it feels like Google made the right compromises for the most part. The camera isn't quite as good as the Pixel 6's, but I wouldn't expect it to be given the gap in price. I'm also glad Google chose to focus on the quality of the Pixel 6a's camera rather than just stuffing it with more lenses. That said, I do think Google will have to keep being competitive to stand out, especially with the way Samsung has been improving its cheaper phones in recent years. Even though I wouldn't expect a $450 phone to have wireless charging and a screen with a high refresh rate, it would have been nice to see at least one of those features, especially wireless charging since it's been standard in phones for about the last 5 years. Also, if you're able to get the Pixel 6 at a discount, it's hard to recommend the Pixel 6a. The Pixel 6 was available for just $500 on Amazon Prime Day, down from its usual price of $600. That means for just $50 more, you get a larger screen, a better 50-megapixel camera, and wireless charging. With the Pixel 7 launching this fall, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw even more Pixel 6 discounts in the coming months, especially as it gets closer to the holiday season. So what do you think of the Pixel 6a? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to check out the links in the description for our full review and other Pixel 6a coverage.